So Call of Duty Ghosts 2, guys, a game in which a lot of us who are huge fans of the Call of Duty franchise would love to see a continuation of, especially after the end of the campaign, that, of course, iconic sequence that really left us on a cliffhanger. And so I don't think necessarily for the multiplayer aspect everyone is, clamoring for another Ghost game, but at least for the campaign to get kind of closure or a continuation of that amazing campaign that I really enjoyed, even though Ghosts as a whole, I didn't really think it was that great as far as the multiplayer was concerned. I thought there were some good ideas there, some good maps, but overall, I thought that the experience was just okay. Well, I want to talk about Ghost 2 here and everything that we know so far about the game, if it's even going to be something that's in development or if it's something that won't see the light of day for a long time. So let's talk about it. So guys, Call of Duty 2020 is something that we've obviously been talking, quite a bit about, but I think one of the really important things here to mention is that obviously we've got Treyarch, who's doing Call of Duty 2020, which is rumored to be another Black Ops game or Black Ops 5 set in the Cold War. And Ghost was done, of course, by Infinity Ward. So there's a lot of speculation saying that maybe 2021 would be more realistic for a Call of Duty Ghost 2. That being said, though, let's kind of talk about some of the rumors and some of the leaks that have come out, and then we can kind of talk about really, would we want to see this in a continuation of Ghosts, and do we think that this is something that we will see in the near future? So Call of Duty announces its next release annually. There are queries and rumors by fans spreading around the globe whether the next game will be a continuation of Modern Warfare, Black Ops, or Ghosts. Every year, gamers wait for the release of the next story so that they can stick to the chair and drown into the world of the virtual war. To give you a piece of history about the game, Call of Duty is a shooting game that started in 2003. Activision has released 16 games in the last 17 years. Its four sub-series are the World War II series, Modern Warfare, Black Ops, and then, of course, Ghosts, which, of course, Ghosts really isn't a series because it's only been one game. But, of course, Black Ops has 5 games up to this point, and then you've got, 4 technically in World War II, 6 in the Modern Warfare franchise as well. Even though it's not so much Modern Warfare, I guess you could really just say it's warfare, right? That would include, Infinite Warfare and things of that nature. If you go by Modern Warfare, of course, there's only 4 of those. So, look, when you look at this and you see that the Ghost series, or Ghost, is the only one in that sub-series. So, out of all of these, it makes sense. Maybe, hey, Ghost might be something that they should really come back to at some point and really, kind of look at this once again, because it did sell very well. It was the best-selling game that year, which every Call of Duty every year is the best-selling. But maybe it's something that they should come back to, because there seems to be a number of people in the community who do really want to go back to Ghosts, which is very interesting and something that I think that they probably at some point or another have certainly thought about. 3 developer companies have developed these 16 games, divided into 4 series. Infinity Ward has developed 7 games, Treyarch has developed 6. Sledgehammer Games has developed 1 set solely and 1 in collaboration with Infinity Ward, that being Modern Warfare 3. Activision released Modern Warfare in 2019, and Call of Duty Ghosts is the only game of its series released to date. It was released in 2013, and it was the first of its kind. COD Ghosts was the first game of the COD series launched for the 8th gen consoles. And then why Ghost 2 can be the next. Given the fact that Ghost series has only 1 game, there are high chances that we will witness Ghost 2 very soon. However, it may not release with the same name. The unclear and unusual ending of Ghost 1 was weird according to gamers' reviews. This gives a chance for developers to bounce back with a better game and a better story. There may be some additional teams, multiplayer modes, and other features in the next one, as COD has to get its own crown back from other games such as PUBG. Well, I'll say this. Within this article, there are certainly things I agree with, some things I disagree with. One of those being that it needs to get its crown back from games such as PUBG. I don't know where they're getting that kind of information, because COD has been on top as far as sales are concerned. Now, if we're talking about, on Twitch or on YouTube, like viewership wise, okay, but putting some context there is probably a smart idea. I would say that people did think that, so some people thought that the Ghost campaign was weird, but at the same time, I think that a lot of people thought it was really good, and that it was one of the better campaigns actually in the entirety of the Call of Duty franchise, which I do think that as well. I think it was one of the better campaigns in the Call of Duty franchise. I'm not going to say it was the best, but it was certainly a good one, and something I would like to see a continuation of. So leaked information on the internet says that Treyarch is developing the next game, but ideally, it's a 3-year term for Infinity Ward. Assuming Infinity Ward as a developer, the game could be either Modern Warfare 4 or Ghost 2. Assuming Treyarch as a developer, the game could be Black Ops 5. However, it is worth noticing that this is just an estimation out of leaked information from various sources. So I think that obviously, okay, it's not a 3-year term for Infinity Ward. What it is actually basically Sledgehammer Games, of course, as we know, merged into Treyarch, and now they're working together. Treyarch is working on the multiplayer for Black Ops 5, or whatever the next Black Ops title is, or whatever they're working on. And then, of course, Sledgehammer Games is working on the campaign. You got Infinity Ward, who is working, obviously, solely on Modern Warfare at this point. However, would they move into maybe, say, next year? Would they start working on, or I would say this year at some point, start working on Ghost 2? It's certainly possible, but as I've said in the past, guys, it feels to me that with Call of Duty Ghost 2 or, Modern Warfare, it feels to me that they're going to continue with Modern Warfare because it's one of their flagship sub-series of the overall franchise of Call of Duty. The same can be said with Black Ops. It feels like they're just going to go back and forth at this point between Modern Warfare and Black Ops. And maybe at some point they will make another Ghost game. It's just hard to say, and at this point in time, it just feels like Modern Warfare and Black Ops are the two, biggest sub-series of Call of Duty as a whole. So why would they kind of shy away from that again and, maybe not, make as much money? Because at the end of the day, for Activision as well as the developers, it's all about money. So in my estimation, I believe that we will see more Modern Warfare games and more Black Ops games. And I've even said that maybe every other year you would just see another Modern Warfare or another Black Ops, but it wouldn't necessarily be a brand new game. It would just be the Modern Warfare reboot and the Black Ops reboot, and both of those going back and forth. They just update, create DLC and things of that nature to keep the game as fresh as possible, and they just go back and forth, which is something that they might do. There's a good chance, though, that they're just going to continue onwards with these franchises and, maybe make a Modern Warfare 4 or, Black Ops 5 and 6 and, so on and so forth. But I would like to see a Ghost 2 at some point in the future. I think it would be, to me, I would love to see like the campaign. I just see a continuation of it. Even if they put it into Modern Warfare somehow, they like merge those two worlds into one, into Modern Warfare. I don't agree. Treyarch isn't, they're going to be the ones developing the next game, but they're not going to be developing Ghost, most likely. It would be Infinity Ward that would do Ghost, because they basically own that sub-series, whereas Treyarch owns, obviously, Black Ops, right? And like World at War. So I think, guys, at the end of the day, the things that we know about this game so far is very little. We don't know much at all about Call of Duty Ghost 2, but we do know that it's definitely been on the developers' minds. They've thought about Ghost 2, and I think really at this point in time, Ghost 2 is in a limbo state. It's right now they're mainly working on Modern Warfare because that's more popular than Ghost is at this point, and more popular than Ghost ever was. And so I think that focusing on that, and we all know that the Modern Warfare campaign, I say, the Modern Warfare, when this game came out last year, was the best campaign of any Call of Duty I've ever played. Between the graphics, the story, it was just groundbreaking. It felt so immersive, and I absolutely loved the campaign. I thought it was incredible. So I thought where they're moving in the direction of, I think, is incredible. And why veer from that? Even though I would love to see the continuation of Ghost 2, why would you go away from what's working out at this point? That being, going from World War II to Black Ops 4 to Modern Warfare, and then, sky's the limit. Just keep going. So Will they ever do it? It's hard to say, but at this point, guys, the things that we know about this game are very limited, but it has been something that's been talked about, and the community's been talking about it as well. Have you guys been thinking about Ghost 2? Would you guys want to see a Call of Duty Ghost 2 at some point or another in the future? Let me know in the comment section below, and for more Call of Duty Ghost 2 content and videos, stay right here with Zero TV.